1-1.
Beats one person. You know who I think I'm fighting?
Who? That's awesome.
Yeah. It's a sick fight.
That was the most relaxed response I've ever heard. Dude, good for you. Good for you.
I heard you can't, that there was a part of the contract that you're actually not allowed to eat. Is that true? Was that worked into the contract? I see your team's all, because I saw on a show that was worked in. No food, correct? Is that what it is?
Rehydration clause? What is
No.
That's true. That's true. I can't gain 10 pounds
no food.
after the fight. And I can't, I got to be 136. And yeah, I can't gain 10 pounds the day after. But the other stuff, obviously it was a joke and people try to spin it, throwing that I'm a liar and whatnot, but I'm not responsible for people's comprehension of things. Obviously I was joking.
Messing around. That was what it was. It was on Bradley's podcast or something.
Exactly. It was Bradley's podcast. We were laughing before the podcast talking about, oh, I also can't throw a left hook in the fight. So I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to say something stupid in the beginning of the podcast. I'm just like, yeah, I can't eat water for 3 days. And I didn't know how serious I was sounding till I looked back on the podcast. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, when I watched
I should be an actor.
Sometimes people, and especially the internet, doesn't get sarcasm. We run into this problem all the time.
All the time.
Exactly.
I was going to ask you if you're at a point now, just because you've been a boxer / creator for so long, where you like feel like you don't have to respond to that type of shit, like where people just start talking, you just know it's good for business for people to be talking. Like, do you feel like you have to respond to everything that people say?
If it's impacting people in a negative way, I might speak up. But for the most part, I just trust in truth. Like internally, if I know that truthfully I was being sarcastic, I'm not gonna really involve myself into, you know, people's narratives and what they want, you know, try to put on me. I see like it's just nasty what people do. They're looking to find fault in me, like really bad.
Does that help you with your like fighting mentality? Does it add to the fire, or does it like kind of fuck up your mind?
It helps me a lot because now I'm able to navigate in the ring. Like even if people scream when he's throwing a punch or I'm in the ring, like I'm able to really focus and just trust in the truth. Like no matter if they're screaming, no matter if, you know, people are, you know, doing all they can to throw me off, the build up and everything helps me keep my focus because I've already learned how to not let that affect me outside. So when I get in the ring, nothing can affect me in there either.
See, I get it though. I can see why people thought that was real. Like if I was fighting you, I wouldn't want you to. I'd probably put in the contract no left,
no eating, no eating.
But that's probably because I have no wins. That's irrelevant. And I'm trying to get my first win this year.
I feel like you will, man.
And then quit.
Leave on top. Why not?
That's leave on top.
1-1.
Beats one person. You know who I think I'm fighting?
Who? That's awesome.
Yeah. It's a sick fight.
That was the most relaxed response I've ever heard. Dude, good for you. Good for you.
No, I mean, that's a big fight.
Yeah, it'll be big.
Who do you think will win?
I feel like Logan will win. He's younger, been through a lot of wars. I love though, but he's been through a lot.
Been through a lot.
But it will be good because I do want him to get paid. He seems like, you know, he's been through everything you can with combat sports, so it's time to get paid.
Get some money.
Yeah. Did you saw Jake and Tommy, obviously?
Yeah, I did.
Any thoughts on, you know, Jakey Poo getting his first loss? It's a tough moment for any fighter who's undefeated.
It is, but again, this will help him get better for the future. He took on a lot of hard fights in the beginning of his career. He wanted to be a boxer, and he fought, you know, in his first 5 fights, harder competition than most actual pro boxers. So I give him kudos to that. Obviously, he has to go back to the drawing board and get better. And I think that he still has a career in boxing. This just shows people that I want him to come back to show people that no matter, even if you get a loss, like that's not going to determine if you have a future in the sport.
Yeah.
So I think that's important that he comes back, wins, and keeps fighting, because if you show people once you lose, then you have to go crawl into a ball and never do it again, then that's not going to show anything. So I want him to come back.
Yeah. And he will. He'll come back strong. He's been handling it really well, and I'm a firm believer in everyone can use a good humbling from time to time.
100%.
And I want to ask you this objectively. like when Jake was preparing for Tommy and all his fights in general, part of his fighter and warrior mentality going in is that losing isn't an option. It's impossible. Can't even envision it in your mind. Won't happen in a million years, right? But then it happened. When I go into any sort of combat, I play the loss in my head and try to run away from the fear of that happening. What's your mentality going in? Is that something that drives you because of fear? Is that something that is not on the table, won't happen? Are you praying and trusting in your God to let the process work out the way it will?
I think I'm more on your thought process. I feel like if you can't say you can't lose, you're insecure about what can happen. I look for the truth. Like, okay, I can lose, but I don't want to lose. And is it better for my mindset to say, I can't even say that word? Like, I try to think it objectively, but it won't actually have an impact if you say to yourself, you know, I can't even say losing. Like, it's not going to have an impact on the fight. So I just kind of look at it in a more truthful aspect and try to, you know, dissect everything that I do fear. Fear kind of helps you ask the question, okay, why do I fear this moment or this situation in the ring? Why am I fearing the possibility of losing? But again, everything plays a part, spiritual, physical, everything. So when I go into this, I'm obviously, you know, wanting to be in tune with all aspects of myself. But yeah, I'm more on the basis of you. I don't fear losing. I don't fear anything.
Yeah.
Because everything's gonna be all right.
I think humans in general are so much more powerful like that.
They are.
When you could look at reality in the face and be unfazed by it, the word is unbothered. When you can move about life unbothered, regardless of outcome, you are a powerful human being.
Stoicism, it's called.
With faith.
Yes.
And I'm back like I ain't never left. Take me to church, yeah, let me confess. Last year I had a lot on my mind like Tony Stark, couldn't get it off my chest. But now I'm back to back like I'm Aubrey. Reborn, yeah, everything blessed. From the ashes brings a new story. Show, don't tell, I'ma ace this test.